Hi, Jacq Hackett here. Earlier this week, I attended a meeting with a client to present findings for a project that I'm working on. So I thought I'd take the opportunity today to talk about, those findings meetings and why they're so important in every consultancy project. So this is getting towards the pointy end of a project. So you've done all the preparation, all the planning, you've gathered all of the information that you need. You might have run stakeholder consultations, you might have, probably reviewed some data, documents, that kind of thing. And then you've gone through the complex process of analysis of all of that, and you've come up with a set of findings. But before you put those findings into a draft report, it's really important to set up a face-to-face meeting with your client to present those findings verbally. I always call them, at that point, preliminary findings. And I'm reminded of my mentor, Ruth, because when I first started consulting in my first project with her, one of the things that really stuck in my mind was that she said to me, there should be no major surprises for the client in your draft report. And that's what these findings meetings are all about. They're about making sure that the client has an opportunity to hear those findings in a kind of gentle, safe kind of way. Because if the very first time they see some of those findings is in a formal written document, even if it's draft, that can be a bit confronting sometimes if some of the findings are not necessarily what they expected. And clients get that they've called in a consultant because they want an independent lens. But sometimes, they're not necessarily prepared for some of the things that have been found. So it's really important that you take the time to set up that meeting, spend time with your client, go through those findings, have a conversation about them. They can then have an opportunity to ask you questions, etc. And not only is that really good and important for the client, but it's also really good for you because it actually paves the way for a smoother passage for getting your draft report accepted by the client and moved on to being a final report. So yes, I think I just wanted to highlight that today. Always set up a meeting to present your preliminary findings to the client in a face-to-face way, so that you don't fall into that trap of having the client experience major surprises in the draft report. Have a great Friday.